Morning, Kaz from Wales, and Wags week 14 is here. So I left you with my little doctor's visit for the bus, as you've seen by my updates during the week, or if you've missed them, I'll give you a little round out. So on Friday, I lost my side mirror on the passenger side, and I don't know where it went. I can't remember tree tapping it. You think I'd see that because I'm right there from where we camped the night before on a roadside park. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I reckon I would have noticed it. Anyway, it did have a broken sort of claspy bit on the back, so maybe it's just given up the ghost in the wind. I went to all the shops in Sale. So Sale was the place that was the next closest, and couldn't find anything like it. Any of the auto Repco type places. They led me to a place called Brady's Trucks, and the gentleman out there was super helpful. He ordered me a couple because he didn't have anything in stock, and they would be there Monday. So this was on the Friday. Compulsory stop and sale. What a shame. So anyway, we camped out at there's a lakeside camp. Beautiful spot. Lots of other campers around, pretty popular, but lots of room, so no one was on top of each other. Kelly and Martin were there too, and we sat down by the river tributary off the lake, and oh my god, the fish that were jumping, the bird life, it was amazing. It was so cool. And they were big fish that were jumping. It looked like they were carp and things like that. I did look them up, but I can't remember what they were now, but they were pretty big fish. Then on the Sunday, I decided that I would go back into town and stay at the RV camp in town, which is at the Greyhound track, just simply because then I could get up and be into the truck place early, because I'd actually asked them. I'd been having trouble with the gears, fifth and sixth, as you know, or fifth really was the problem, just about dislocating my shoulder, trying to get it in, which is not good. So I was going to get them just to have a quick look and lube them. Maybe that would solve the problem. So I wanted to be there sort of when they opened, because they were just going to fit me in when they could, and then I could be on the road again. So we did that, stayed at the RV camp. Lovely lady Liz running the place, so if you're ever there, she is gold. She's very, very knowledgeable about the area, very super helpful. You could park where you wanted. They had powered site, unpowered sites. They had laundry, showers, toilets, and it's right behind the Greyhound track, so you can actually get 20% off your meal there. I've never been to Greyhound tracks. I know it's not everybody's thing, but you know, it's all about experiencing new things as well. So I thought I'd have a cooked dinner and go and watch the Greyhounds. So that was pretty cool. And watched a couple of races. The ones that I picked either got first or second. I didn't bet. I just did it in my head because I like the look of the dogs as I walked past where I was sitting. But yeah, that was a bit of fun. And then next morning headed out to the mechanics. They fixed the mirrors pretty quickly. Had a look at, just a really brief look, it wasn't in-depth look at the linkages, and said yeah, they are pretty worn. I mean, it's a pretty old bus, it's a 2001, but he did lube them up for me, so that was great. Anyway, so I was back on the road before lunch, and heading through Barnsdale. So my goal, we're heading north now, so to sort of before the cold weather really hits in Victoria, and get through the mountains. So heading up through Barnsdale, and then I was going to go through Lake Entrance and then to Carn River. So that was my goal for this week. Then I was traveling, so Monday afternoon, traveling up through Barnstable, which is only an hour from Sale, and I got out the other side heading to Lake's Entrance, and I couldn't get the gear. I couldn't get it into fifth or sixth at all. Eek, panic, take some deep breaths. What do you do? So I managed to find, and it was a really busy road, so I couldn't like do a U-turn in the bus on there. So I managed to, on the maps, I could see that there was like a farmer's lane that went around a few farms and that. So I doubled back round there, limped back into town and forth, just taking it easy. And just as I come into town, there was actually a truck place. So I called in there, and they handballed me on to, I'm glad they did actually, they didn't seem very interested, but handballed me on to a great team at Livingston Trucks. Can't sing their praises high enough. They're great guys. Trevor, Logan and Harry, the ones I dealt with, they were awesome. They really calmed me down just by their demeanour. Nothing was a bother. They had a really good look through. They put the bus up on the hoist, as you would have seen, checked it all over, and Harry, the mechanic, said he didn't reckon it's probably been looked at since it started being a school bus by the look of it. And he found some broken bits in there, and he said, it's such a long linkage that it's no wonder that, it's easy. A little bit of movement would take it out anyway. So he did a patch-up job because they also had to order some parts. They had to come out of Melbourne, luckily, and they said it could be a couple of days. So it was going to be, I said, well, that works for me because I've got my 3 days work, so I'm sort of bus bound those days anyway. So they ordered the parts. I went down and booked into the caravan park down by the river. Beautiful spot there. They managed to squeeze me in on a nice open plain overlooking the swimming pool, so it felt like I was at a resort. And just an unpowered site, and it was on special or something. So I think the 4 nights I ended up staying there cost me about $110, $112, which I thought was pretty good. So Wednesday came and they rang and said, got good news and bad news. The parts have arrived, but half of one of the parts hasn't, and we can't really do the job without them. And I said, that's fine. Order them. So they put them on express order. They said they could be in the next day or it would be Friday, which worked for me anyway. They came in Friday. They had the bus for probably only a couple of hours, and I was able to hit the road again. Brilliant. And the gear changes are sweet, which is great because I'm now hitting the hills after sort of Calne River, or just leading up to Calne River. There's going to be a couple, or there were a couple. So went through Lakes Entrance, and then when I got there, because I like the sound of the name, it was sort of the last part of the coast before heading up, realised that I'd been there with Tony when we went in my little bus for a 5-week trip, and then up to Calne River. We'd worked out we'd been there as well. So I stayed there the night, filled up, all ready to go in the morning. It had been a pretty, stressful week with the bus, not knowing if things were all going to work out. Had a really good sleep, and then Friday morning we're, going to head off and start rolling again. So my stay at Barnsdale was great. You would have seen my post about the bats. They were really cool to see. It's a really big colony. There's a lot there. And a lot of them are probably bigger than Gem. So I was imagining her as an albino bat most of the time. And they spooked easy. I worked out it was me probably making them make noise rather than just keeping walking, but being the interested tourist and not seeing them, that sort of thing very often, I was a bit curious. If you're ever in Barnsdale, there's also an awesome river walk around from the caravan park, goes across a bridge, 2 bridges at one end and one at the other near the caravan park, and it's about 5.5 k's, but it's a great little walk. Lots of wildlife. You can see the pelicans and other birds fishing in the river, the bats, of course. There's a few notables along the way, so if you're ever in that area, I do recommend that. I didn't get out too much other than that because the short day. So by the time I finish work at 5:30, because I work on WA time, it's dark. So I only get sort of an hour or so in the morning. Daylight savings finished. And I did get out on the scooter a couple of days, but didn't go too far because of work. But it was good to have that all weight off the shoulders, knowing that everything's fixed and ready to go. So I'm really excited to get back up into the hills and the mountains. Being born in New Zealand, I really miss the hills, so I can't wait to get back up there. I'll attach some things that we've done. The other notable thing at Calne River was the walk through the bush there. Absolutely beautiful. Just at the back of the RV camp, there's a bushwalk. Rainforest walk, I think they call it. Saw some really cool little wallabies, not shy at all, so we were standing there just waiting for them to nick off, so because I had the dogs on their leads, so I didn't want them to spook them. I just stood there waiting for them to nick off, and they're really funny. They thump the ground when they leave. There's just one thump. It's like, go away, and then but you don't hear them hop off like you would normally with kangaroos and things like that. And the other thing I saw there, which was pretty exciting because I've never seen one before in real life, is a lyrebird. There was this bird making an unusual noise in the trees. I could not find it. Anyway, it hopped down in front of me and I couldn't get my camera out quick enough. But it looked like he had a couple of sort of peacock type feathers on the end of his body, so I'm guessing that's the male. And then when I went around the other side of the track, another one, or the same one, actually stood and posed. I got a picture, but it's a bit blurry, but evidence I did actually see them. So I was really happy about that. It's always cool to see some new critters that you haven't seen before. All right, so that's about the wrap for the week. I hope you've had a great week. We have. And I'm very relieved and happy that the bus is all good to go. And we'll share our journey up the hill this week. Okay, be safe. Take care. Bye.